Good morning, Phil Chaplin. It's good to see you watching live this morning. Uh, I want to talk about the obscure a little bit first. A few years ago, 2018, the Kansas City Royals drafted a pitcher by the name of Brady Singer. Yeah, Brady Singer. And he's a first round pick. He has never pitched before yesterday above the double A level. And yesterday, the Royals had this great idea. I tell you what, let's start Brady Singer against the Cleveland Indians. Now, with fantasy baseball, you've got to be proactive. You've got to take a few chances out there. So, in one of my leagues, I go and I pick up as a free agent Brady Singer, who at the time was owned by just 5% of the league. Well, the Royals win the game in extra innings, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But Brady Singer, in his first major league outing, goes 5 innings against Cleveland. And now this lineup for Cleveland, pretty doggone good. Let's take a look at that lineup. It had Cesar Hernandez leading off, Jose Ramirez batting second, Lindor batting third, Santana fourth, Franmil batting fifth. You get the idea. Mercado's in that lineup. Perez is in that lineup. I mean, this is pretty much your regular group of folks for Cleveland. And so what does Singer do? He goes out, pitches 5, could have really gotten out with no runs. If you watch the game, he was quite impressive. Struck out 7 batters, only gave up 3 hits. And this coming week, he's lined up to pitch against Detroit midweek, which means the following week he will have a 2-start week. So I'm just throwing that out there. Kansas City, not too bad. They're not on my list of 3. My list of 3 teams who have no chance of making the playoffs includes the Baltimore Orioles, the Seattle Mariners, and the Giants, who, oh, by the way, beat the Dodgers yesterday, but it's 1 out of 60. I don't think those 3 teams have much of a chance of making the playoffs, but I think everyone else does. And Kansas City, looking at that bullpen yesterday, after the 5th inning, how many runs did Cleveland score? Well, the answer is goose egg, 0. Kennedy comes in the 6th and 7th. Now, remember, Ian Kennedy last year, he's their closer. But yesterday he came in the 6th. He pitched 2 innings, no hits, no walks. Yeah, threw 19 pitches in the 2 innings total. That's it. I think he had a 4-pitch 6th inning yesterday. Rosenthal comes in the 8th and throws goose eggs, 2 strikeouts. Barlow strikes out 2 in the 9th. We go extras. Cleveland with the guy on second base. Greg Holland, remember Greg Holland, World Series hero for the Royals a few years back, strikes out the side. And Kansas City scores a run, and they beat the Indians. Now, I know it's 1 game out of 60. I'm not here to promote the Royals. I am here to promote Jonathan Danger Cole says Detroit ain't going nowhere. Oh, I'm going there now, okay? I think they have maybe that much chance. I don't think Baltimore has any. I don't think Giants have any, and I certainly don't think Seattle has any. Okay, but we'll throw Detroit in. I'll buy in. But Detroit, that's where I'm going with this Brady Singer argument. That's who he's lined up against this coming week. And I need to check real quick. Again, I told you when I picked up Singer yesterday, during the game, actually, the game had not ended. Singer had, let's see, what was it? 6% owned in fantasy leagues. Let's see what it is this morning. I'm going to bet if you're in a daily league, I'm going to bet it's up substantially. It's up to 8. He's up 7.2% from yesterday. And we're just getting started, So I think if you're in one of these weekly leagues where you draft on Sundays, I can see Brady Singer being the number 1 pick coming out of the weekend. I really do. He'd look really good. And with Detroit coming up next week and then a 2-week start, probably the week after that, look out, Brady Singer, put him on your calendar, put him wherever you want to put him. He's going to be fantasy relevant this year, and he's going to make a difference for those Kansas City Royals. Other games, other players of note yesterday. I want to just go through the league a little bit. The Nats, you've heard the story. All of you guys watching this, you're baseball fans already. I doubt if you're watching this, you're watching it just so you can see the Yankees behind me or listening to me. But at any rate, we know that yesterday before the game, uh, the Strasburg, the starting pitcher for the Nationals, World Series hero. He has some kind of nerve issues going on in his right hand. Said it'd been going on for a while. Thinks he's day to day. So Strasburg did not pitch against the Yankees. They announced that Eric Fetty would be the starter, and Yankee fans, including myself, were salivating, thinking we got Paxton going, but here's the thing we forgot about. Remember the reports, and I've told you, and I want you to listen to me more and more on here. When a manager says something or a coach says something, pay attention, because word out of New York before yesterday's start was that Big Maple, James Paxton's velocity was down, and they weren't sure why. Well, after watching the first inning yesterday, it was a hit fest for the Nationals. They got ahead, and then they pounced on the Yankee bullpen. And I really like Michael King, young pitcher for the Yankees. I think he's got a bright future. But yesterday, just my take, he fell in love with his fastball way too much. He's got good breaking pitches. He needs to rely on that more. Nationals beat the Yankees 9-2, but who was the star of the game was Victor Robles. And have we not been waiting for a Victor Robles coming out party? Yesterday, it happened for the National star. He went 3 for 4 yesterday. He had a double. He had a homer. He looked really good. You know, just about the time you write the Nationals off because you say they can't hit. Now, that's got to change if a player like Robles really gets it going on. I was also watching last night. Have you watched the Padres? The Padres are a playoff team in 2020. Yes, Paddock looked lights out Friday night. And if you watched any of the game last night, a couple of things I think are worth noting. Danielson Lamet goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits, strikes out 8. And if you watch the game, he was totally in charge. And I'm sure they took him out of the game because it's early in the season. Then they come in with Strom and Stamen and Yates, and it's good morning, good evening, good night. It was lights out. Manny Machado, late in the game, they're up 3-1. He's got a 3-0 count. Here's what I liked about Machado yesterday. Machado on a 3-0, sees the fastball, swings at the fastball, hits the fastball, and all of a sudden it's 5-1. A 2-run shot by Manny. They need a big year out of Manny. I love the top of that order for the Padres with Tatis Jr., Machado, and Tommy Pham. And let me ask you this. Is there a lesser, I'm going to say respected, for lack of a better word? You know, Tommy Pham with the Cardinals, really good player, put up good numbers. And for some reason, St. Louis thinks, I guess that crowd they got there now, although Tyler O'Neill's off to a good start over 2 games, I guess they think that crowd they got out there now is better than Tommy Pham. Wrong. So they get rid of him. They trade him away. He goes to Tampa Bay. Tampa has him. I think he's a great outfielder in Tampa. I guess Tampa thinks, hey, we can do better, you know. So we trade him, get rid of him, send him out to San Diego. And now he's in San Diego doing the same kind of thing he was doing. He walked twice yesterday. He's an on-base percentage mongrel. Another player I really want to look out for this year on San Diego in fantasy. You can draft him late. You may have him on a waiver wire, and that's Will Myers. Myers now is the designated hitter in San Diego. He hit a home run yesterday. In fact, it was the game winner, put him ahead 3-0. Myers is going to get the at-bats this year, not going to have to worry about the fielding. I really like what San Diego has going on. They conclude the series today against the Diamondbacks. And now remember, the Diamondbacks, picked by many to be a playoff team. Today they throw Zach Gallen against Richards. You know, Richards was an ace in making. Garrett Richards has all kind of health problems over the last few years with the Angels. Now he signs a free agent deal. He's with San Diego. He's their 3rd starter. Let me tell you something. If Garrett Richards comes out today throwing smoke, throwing pitches, getting outs, and he becomes a mainstay in that Padre rotation, remember there's a kid on the farm from North Carolina, Mackenzie Gore. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore may be better than any of the ones they've got already, at least potentially as good. And don't think they won't bring him up and call him into that rotation this year if San Diego has a chance of winning. I think they do. I think it's sooner than later. Joey Lucchesi, pretty good pitcher, but really he's not a star in the making. Mackenzie Gore, put him on that rotation, and it will be something to see. But I want to really watch today, guys, how Richards looks against Arizona. Staying out west today, Shohei, show me. Shohei Ohtani pitching today against the Athletics. Now, yesterday, the Angels beat the A's 4-1. Not something, really all that great to talk about, other than the fact Jesus Luzardo's pitching for Oakland yesterday. They talk about they're going to work him in at the major league level. Well, he worked in pretty well yesterday. Came in and pitched 3 innings in relief, struck out 2, gave up 1 hit through 48 pitches. I think he's probably got one more longer stint in the bullpen, and then look for Luzardo to move into the rotation. And the question's going to be, whose place does he take? Mania yesterday, I'm not impressed. Were you? Mike Fiers goes today. Megden, are you kidding me? To me, the obvious choice is that Luzardo takes over for Megden in probably a week and a half. And so get ready to have Luzardo. Now, if you're in a fantasy league with relief pitcher titles, starting pitcher titles, know this: Luzardo will have both titles. That's right. He'll be an SPRP this year. After this year, probably not. But going into this year, he was an RP. He will become SP once he gets into the rotation for a couple of starts. Very valuable. Looked really good. Did you watch him yesterday? If not, you got to catch this kid. I know he's on the West Coast. Us East Coasters. We'll see. So really impressed with that. It's still a situation where pitching is ahead of hitting. So, Phil Chaplin, as you're getting ready to get into the pool, I just know you're loving watching me on video. I got it. And we got a Facebook user who is saying they've been touting Will Myers all off season and been drafting him for all your teams. And I think that's a great low-cost buy. Let me ask you this. Do you like Will Myers better or Ryan Braun better? Braun's going to be the DH primarily. Did not play yesterday in Chicago. But do you like Will Myers better or Ryan Braun better this year in fantasy? Good question. Let me hear from you on that one. Let's talk about some more games from yesterday, shall we? I love the Padres. Also, who was talking about the Tigers earlier? The Tigers are in Cincinnati. I'm going to give them a little bit of pub. How about that? Just a little bit. Jacoby Jones, who is Lenny Melnick's a big Jacoby Jones guy. And I've heard Lenny Melnick say this is kind of the year Jacoby Jones has to show that he's got something or got nothing. He went 2 for 4 yesterday, hit a home run in the 9th inning off Iglesias. Game winner. Yeah, they were tied 4-4. Iglesias pitching the 9th gives up the bomb to Jacoby Jones. Now, not only do I want to talk about Jacoby Jones a little bit, but I want to talk about this Reds bullpen. There's a lot of talk about the Reds rotation, and there's no doubt over the first 2 games, the Red rotation has looked good. Sonny Gray was untouchable Friday night. Did you check out Luis Castillo's numbers yesterday? 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned, 11 strikeouts. But then he turns it over to the bullpen, and Stevenson pitches a third of an inning, gives up 2 earned. Lorenzen blows the save. Garrett does pitch well in the 8th, but in the 9th, Iglesias gives up 3 hits, the home run to Jacoby Jones. He struck out 2, but he gives up the home run. So I'm concerned about the Reds bullpen. I've said this before. I think the Reds can win that division, but every team in that Central Division has an Achilles heel. And I think the Reds need to be concerned about the back end of their bullpen. And where am I coming from? Is Iglesias talented? Sure. He's world loads of talent. But remember last year when he was complaining because they were talking about taking him out of the closer role and putting someone else in that closer role? And he sulked. I mean, I don't want a sulker. I don't want a quitter. I want a gamer on my team. I'm concerned about Iglesias being a gamer. I'm not concerned about the rotation. Trevor Bauer, he'll be all right. He's had time to acclimate. He's a smart kid. Castillo's an ace in the making. Sonny Gray has found something in Cincinnati that he could not find in New York. They are good in the rotation. And Joey Votto, prediction, comeback player of the year will not be Yoenis Cespedes. It will be Joey Votto. He has homered in each of the first two games. I know it's Detroit pitching. I know I've got Detroit, Jonathan Danger Cole. I got it. Not a Detroit big fan this year. I get it. They're a team looking towards the future. And I don't mean tomorrow. I'm talking about years from now, right? But Joey Votto looks like he's found his stroke. And I tell you something I've noticed about Votto over the last 2 years, up to now. He takes a lot of pitches. And I've noticed the first two games playing against Detroit, Votto is swinging at the strike that he sees early in the count, jacking them out of the park. And with this lineup, Votto, Moustakas, Suarez, Castellanos, Senzel, Galvis, Casali, who's also hit well at catcher the first two games. Up and down the order, the Reds are as good as any team in that Central Division. The starting pitching is better than any. I'm just concerned about the bullpen. And I will not sit here and talk about the Tigers, okay? I'll lay off the Tigers. But I do have to talk about who's in first place in the American League East this morning. Well, they're tied. But when's the last time you could say the Baltimore Orioles were in first place in the American League East? When's the last time? Well, you can say it today. They're tied. They put it to the Red Sox yesterday, 7-2. They've got a few hitters on that team. Now, let's talk about the hitters that they have. I think Austin Hayes could be a good fantasy play in a deep league. Hanser Alberto, who is a second base, third base eligible player who got 3 hits yesterday. Santander and the outfield, and Nunez at first base. Those are 4 potential viable players fantasy-wise for the Orioles. Now, am I going to drop a superstar for any of those? No, absolutely not. But if you're in daily leagues where there aren't as many games, now this year you're not going to have that problem as much. You know, with the schedule like it is, there just aren't that many off days. What I'm seeing in the schedule is a team might have 2 off days the same week and then play 17 straight days. But the Orioles, I predicted them to win 14 games at one point. I don't think they're that good. The pitching's horrendous, but they've got some players who could be fantasy relevant. I was watching the White Sox and the Twins yesterday. I watched them the last 2 nights. And Giolito pitching Friday night, horrible. Berrios for Minnesota, horrible. Yesterday, the White Sox have Keuchel going against the Twins, and Rich Hill, who was scheduled to start the 5th game, got talked about moving up to the 2nd game, and now he's back in the 5th game. So Dobnak starts, and it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. Look, the White Sox, how many of you guys are like me and you have picked the White Sox to win the Central Division this year? Abreu, Moncada, Anderson, Eloy, who homered yesterday. And I haven't even mentioned, well, I will, rookie phenom Luis Robert, Luis Garcia, who's killing the ball the first 2 games. How long he'll be at second base, I don't know. They've got a kid on the farm who I watched play last year in the minors, Nick Madrigal, who's a great glove. And Friday night, one of the reasons that the White Sox lost was an error by Lurie Garcia. So Madrigal is just sort of waiting in the wings, but Lurie can hit. And the manager made no doubt about it. The reason Lurie is playing second base is because of his bat. Delmonico may be the guy out when Madrigal comes up, and you might see Lurie Garcia then move to an outfield position where he naturally plays. I just love this White Sox team. And Dallas Keuchel, who's not going to strike out many batters, went 5 1/3 yesterday, only gave up 3 hits. He threw the Twin timing off like crazy. Their timing was horrible. So I like the White Sox start. Rodon's going, hard thrower, North Carolina State University product right here from Holly Springs, North Carolina. And so what's not to like about the White Sox? Ronaldo Lopez, great arm. They've got a good pin. Column A at the back end. So today, let's see who's starting for them. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. It's going to be Maeda starting today against Lopez. Kenta Maeda coming in from the Dodgers. I'm interested to see how he fares today at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago against these White Sox. Look at the other games today. Losawiga has been named the starter for the Yankees at 105 against Patrick Corbin. And I want to notice today how Patrick Corbin fares against all those right-handed bats. I've never seen a Yankee team more right-handed than this year. And I got to believe as the year goes on, a player like Hockman will play a bigger role. And I'm interested to see today if Miguel Andujar gets to start for the Yankees. He hasn't batted yet this year. He was having a great summer for the Yankees. I look for him in the lineup today. Let me see if that lineup is out. It is. Here's the lineup. He is in the lineup. So today for the Yankees, I'll give you both teams. It's DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, Luke Voigt, Gio Urshela, Miguel Andujar, Kyle Hishigawa, and Michael Tauchman playing center field today for the Yankees against a left-hander. That's significant. If Tauchman starts to hit, look for Tauchman to start to play. I like Tauchman better than Hicks or Gardner. I do. I've watched them all, guys. I'm a Yankee fan. Look behind me. Okay. Visions of Derek Jeter dance in my head. I'm telling you, Tauchman is a player. For the Nationals, Trey Turner leading off. He's yet to record a hit this season. Adam Eaton, who homered Friday night. Starling Castro batting third. Howie Kendrick DHing. Eric Thames playing first. Asdrubal Cabrera playing third. Victor Robles moving up to 7th in the order after the big game yesterday. Jan Gomes is catching, and Michael A. Taylor playing right field. Let's see if there are any more lineups out. Let's check out that Philly-Marlin game. For the Phillies today, Adam Hazley leading off playing center field. Rhys Hoskins batting second. Bryce Harper batting third. JT batting fourth and catching. Didi batting fifth, playing short. Segura playing third. Jay Bruce in left. Scott Kingery at second base. And Neil Walker is the DH today for the Phillies. The Marlin lineup not out as of yet. Can't believe it's not out, just don't have it yet. Kansas City and Cleveland lineup with Merrifield leads off. Alberto Mondesi, Jorge Soler, Salvador Perez, Alex Gordon batting fifth, Maikel Franco playing first base today, Franchi Cardero playing right, Eric Mejia playing third, he's a switch hitter, and Brett Phillips playing center field. For the Tribe, Cesar Hernandez at second, Jose Ramirez is the DH today, Frankie Lindor at short, Carlos Santana at first, Franmil Reyes, he is playing left field, Domingo Santana batting sixth is playing right field, Bradley Zimmer batting seventh is playing center field, Sandy Leon is catching, and Yu Chang is playing third base. That's the lineup for the Tribe. Let's see about Cincinnati and Detroit. For all you Detroit Tiger fans, leading off will be Nico Goodrum, followed by Jonathan Scope, Miguel Cabrera, CJ Cron, Kristen Stewart playing left field, batting fifth, Harold Castro, the left-handed bat, playing third. Victor Reyes playing right field. Grayson Grenier playing catcher today. And Lenny Melnick's favorite, Jacoby Jones, back in that lineup after his home run yesterday, winning the game. Jacoby Jones is playing center field and batting ninth. And hello to everyone out there. Facebook, Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports. Let me tell you something, guys. The Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network, we offer a lot of different perspectives, but they're all learned perspectives. We do our homework, and it's all baseball this time of year. You can go to other podcasts. You can hear about different sports, and that's fine if that's what you like. But right here, right now, we're talking baseball. We're talking it every day. We're going to try to dig deep and give you that information to help you with your fantasy leagues. Jesse Winker leading off for the Reds, DHing today. Joey Votto at first. Suarez at third. Castellanos at right. Josh Van Meter playing second base today for the Reds. Shogo Akiyama playing left field. Nick Senzel playing center. Freddie Galvis playing short. And Kurt Casale catching. So that means that today the Reds are allowing their newly acquired second baseman, Mike Moustakas, to have the day off. So if you're in fantasy leagues with Moustakas, note already he is out of the lineup today for the Reds. Previewing the Rays and the Jays. For Tampa Bay, G-Man Choi leading off playing first. Brandon Lau playing second. Yandy Diaz, he will be batting third and playing third. Jose Martinez is your DH. Kevin Kiermaier, Manny Margot, Hunter Renfroe, Willie Adames, and Mike Zunino round out the batting order. For the Red Sox and the Orioles, boy, a lot of lineups, right? Austin Hayes is in center. Santander, Iglesias, Rio Ruiz playing third. Hanser Alberto, Chris Davis, Renato Nunez, Chance Sisco, and DJ Stewart. For the Red Sox, leading off, Jose Peraza, JD Martinez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, Kevin Pillar, Christian Vasquez, Alex Verdugo, Michael Chavez, and Jackie Bradley Jr. Yes. So let's see. One more lineup I've gotten. The Twins and the White Sox, Kepler, Donaldson, Polanco, Nelly Cruz, Eddie Rosario, Jack Cave, Luis Arias, Marwin Gonzalez. So Sano not in the lineup today. Alex Avila for the White Sox, Tim Anderson, Nicky Delmonico, Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, Edwin Encarnacion, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Danny Mendick playing third, giving Jan Makata a day off, and Lurie Garcia playing second base. So that's a look at some of the lineups today. I look back at yesterday. I'm glad you guys have been with me today. We'll talk more fantasy, talk more players. Back on tomorrow morning around 9:45. Whenever Lenny is finished with his show, I'll come on right after that. It's great to be with you today. Let's go watch some baseball, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports on the Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network.